or any other page, for example. And I said, okay, this is my next page, that is first name, last name, and date of birth. So it goes to the next page now. So first name, last name, date of birth. But if you can see on the top, it has another title. Previously it was registration page, now it is registration 2. So I wanted to validate, I wanted to navigate from one page to the next page using page object model framework. So I go back here. So that's why I'm creating this registration 1 page, that is registration, or for your understanding, it's registration 2 page action. I have this class and I'm going to create I close all the classes which is not required so that you can see. Okay, now same code base. I write Webdriver driver equals null, and I'm going to create here the constructor public registration to page action. I say Webdriver this start driver equals driver. Now there is one thing, either I can create here a common function, or I can create a common function in the web element common. Here where I created the is displayed and is clickable. Let's say I wanted to get the title of each page. So I can create one static function here, public. I can say public static string get page title. And to get the page title, what I need a web driver. I just wanted to return the string. I said if driver is not equals null, then only go back and you can check whether that driver dot get title is here. And you can do one thing also. You can just write here a string title equals blank, for example, as of now. And if this is not, then only you can assign that value here, and you said I am going to return this title. So what this code says, I send input parameter as a driver. Driver is nothing but my current browser. I said, let's say previously my title is blank. Now I said if driver is not null, that means whatever input parameter you pass, if it is not null, we said then assign a current actual driver title to the title and return that title. If it is null, then it will return always a blank. If it is not null, then it will return the page title. Okay, so this is what I had written, a common function. I just wanted to call that common function here in the page to page validation. So I'll say public void validate page title, and this method should be common to all, so that you can create for every page this method. It's a good practice. You can pass always this method. Okay, so public void, so you can say here the string or return. You just manage this, or return, or you just say boolean. Both are okay. I said boolean validate page title. I said now a string. I said string equals string actual title. Okay, actual title, or you can see here expected, not actual. I'm so sorry. This is expected title equals what we saw is registration 2 is what my expected. Now this registration 2 and all these three, all value, you can pass it from the property file, JSON file, or your Excel file, and all those code, that Excel code and all those code, you can use it here. This one, the test data code, you can get it those value from there. Now I said expected title registration 2. Now I said validate page title. So I said my web element common dot. I wanted to get page title and I wanted to pass a driver. So I pass that driver here and I said done. So it will return me actual. It will return me actual. And then you can see if this expected title dot equals the actual. If it is true, then only set the value then set the value match title equals true. Okay, and then you can simply return that value. Okay. So what I did, I have three different input parameters, so three different variables, a local variable. One is match title, that is a boolean, because I wanted to return boolean. I said initially its value is false. Then I have my expected title, which I can read from my test data, any of the test data, any of data source. And data source is nothing but your test data. So your Excel, XML, CSV, JSON, all those are your data sources. Now actual, I can get it from the common function that is we had created. Then I compare, if that is equals, then only I can set this value equals true and I can return this. So as of now, I have done with the page 2 action, that is registration page 2 action. Now I go back to my page 1. Now I go back to the page 1. I said there is a major advantage of page object model framework is easy page navigation. I can see it is easy page navigation. When I say easy page navigation, it means I can navigate from one page to the next page directly from my code. That means my action, first page action, directly navigate to my second page action. So my action starts from here, okay, and ends here. So what I'll do here, I'll simply create one instance of my page 2. I said I'm simply creating registration. I say registration page 2 action, that is registration page, registration underscore page action 2. Okay, or if you can say registration 2 page action, in that way both are equal. Page action equals a null. See what I'm doing, I said it is equals to null, and now I select this 4 line, right click surrounds with, and I said try and catch block. Okay, I right click surrounds with and try and catch block. If you can see or observe, I didn't do any of, anywhere in the whole of the code that try and catch block to avoid a multiple try catch. I just want to show at one place. So enter username, that is my user val, enter password, that is my password val, are all same. Only one thing, once this is my registration to page action equals new registration page 2, and I set this to yes, this one. See what I'm doing. I said I set up a registration 2 page action. Okay, registration page 2 action. Now when I say registration page 2 action, I set initial value as null. Now I check enter username, password, confirm password, submit button. Now any of this method fails, that means it will throw any of the exception, then it will terminate and it will not assign this registered to this new object. That means this instance is not assigned to any of the object if anywhere this is failed in this 4 line. But if this is pass, all these lines work as expected, then it will assign a page to page action. And what we are doing now, I wanted to return this page 2 instance to the, that's why, that means I am now returning one page, that means this current page, to this page. So if I wanted to return, that means I want to change this return type void to this class, that means the second page where I wanted to return. So I said again, if I wanted to return from page 1 to page 2, definitely I wanted to change this void a return type to this. So I select this and I can change this to this. So if you can see here, I simply change my void to this. Nothing changed in this code. Okay, I simply change this to this and I simply add my return statement, that is registration page 2 instance. See, again, I'll repeat this code. It is very important and interview question. People may mostly ask you this question: how do you return to the next page? So I created instance of next page. I do all the action, okay, within this try block. Any of this code is failed, it is getting this catch option, okay, and then it will return the null because it will not assign this value, object value, as of now to the instance. But if all of this works, then it will directly assign this object of page 2 to this and it will return that page 2 action. This is what we did it here. We simply change a common function into a navigation function to the page 2. Now I go back to my test again. So this was my test initially. I created registration page 1 instance here, and now with that help I can call this common function, but this time it is returning something. So this time it is returning a page 2. So I can simply hold this into a page 2 registration 2 underscore page action. Simply what I'm doing, this is returning page 2 instance. So that's why I am holding this into this page 2 instance. Simply I am holding this into page 2 instance. So I got it here. Now my checkpoint says I wanted to check if it is pass or fail. So I simply said I wanted to check always true. True with what? So I said I had written one common function there, that is validate page title. So either this validate page title return true. If this returns true, then only this checkpoint is pass. I go back to page 2. See, this is that validate page title. This will return boolean. If this returns true, then only my test is pass. If this fails, then my test is fail. Okay, so here is my checkpoint. Now what I can do, so checkpoint assert says always if your assert are fail, that means your execution terminate here itself. Okay, if your assert fails, your execution terminate here itself. Now you can start your second page action more in detail. That means you can identify the locators for second page: first name, last name, date of birth, email ID, mobile number, and all. You can create and then you can call all those actions here. First add all the locators and call all the actions here, and then common action, and then call that common action here with this registration again to page locator dot common action, which will return you the page 3 instance this time. Again new assert, again a new assert, again page 3, again new assert, again page 4, and that way you can continue your test here. So it is very easy in one test. You can see you are navigating from page 1, you are navigating to the page 2 here. Now you can call your page 2 common action. Okay, then again you do one of the assert, and again your registration page 3 one action, then assert, then again. So any of the checkpoint fails, you immediately catch this fails within this class. That means this fails within this action or this class. So you can only need to fix only those actions. This is how we work on the page object model framework on the easy page navigation. Now I go back and show you. So this is how, now think we created only these many functions. So when you created all the functions and multiple classes, this goes up beyond, I mean, it will not cover into your this definitely unit. So now again, I'm right clicking on my framework and I create one folder. So that folder says in the page object model, I said I wanted to maintain my test data. So one is my test data folder. Another folder is my driver folder, driver. So that means I need some of the drivers. That means my Chrome driver, my